Welcome to Cooking with Jess. Today I have a tried and true recipe that I use. I call this my airport sandwich. Why do I call this my airport sandwich? When my wonderful, wonderful parents come to visit, and it's a sad day for them to leave and go back, I wake up very early in the morning. That's usually when their flight is. I prepare a sandwich for them. And to this day, they look forward to it. And I made a slight tweak to this one. And I'll get into why and what the tweak is. But yeah, they expect it. I most importantly, right, like I want to see a smile on their face when they leave. I also want to make sure that they have a long, like, it takes a while to get to the airport. And then, of course, going through customs and forming these lines and security and so forth and so on. And then they have, a pretty substantial amount of time flying. And then when they get to their destination, it's the same thing going through customs and all this fun stuff. So not so much fun, but I want to make sure that they at least have like some food on their belly on the way to the airport. Hence why we call this the airport sandwich. It's really simple. So we're going to start. I went ahead and I chopped up. These are the typical things that I put in the airport sandwich. Cebolla, tomate. We're getting fancy today and we're putting in some hongos. And then these are zucchini because I want to make sure we have something green in there. Important to me is color. I like the variation. So we're going to start here. I have this this particular machine. I have it on 3. So that's like a medium, creeping up to medium high heat. Not quite, but medium heat. So we'll get some grapeseed oil. That's my go-to. That's what I use. And I will continue to use it because it works so well. Boom. That nice and heated up already. What I'm going to do, we have the oven on because I want to warm up the bread. I found this baguette. This particular one happens to be gluten-free and grain-free. Was not going for the grain-free. It was an extra bonus. So when we hear Mr. Oven tell us that it's ready, we're just going to go ahead and put it in there just to warm it up a little bit so that when the rest of our sandwiches is ready, we will have a nice warm toasty situation happening over here. Okay, I'm going to cut this in half. But since it's 2 of them, we're going to make 2 sandwiches. This bread is really crusty. I like it. And the goal, as I usually try, is to make sure that when we're preparing something that we prepare it at the same time. So at the end, everything comes together in unison. So we can go ahead and eat the sandwich as soon as possible. So I don't put anything fancy on the bread. I really don't. I just make sure that it is, we don't want to open it up all the way, but I like it just to be warm. It's going to help to absorb a lot of the wonderful things that I put in here. We'll get to what those things are shortly, right? So these are the things that we're going to saute. While this is sauteing, what we're going to do is I'm going to make something called an avocado mash. Okay? So kind of like you'll see. All right, so we'll start with the cebollas. This bad boy is hot. I see a little steam coming up. I don't want it to don't get too jazzy on me. Then we're gonna have some stuff burning, so we're gonna put that. We're not gonna put these tomatoes in though, okay? The tomatoes are towards the end. Then we're gonna put, move that around. Make sure that the cebollas are getting in good with the aceite. Aceite is oil. We're gonna make sure that that's happening there, okay? Boom. Got that. We're gonna add our zucchini. Now this is what I really want to cook down because that has a little bit of a firmer texture. And we want that to be something that's nice and like you can chew it. You're probably gonna eat this thank you, Mr. Oven. Mr. Oven is ready. Just a dash. That's it. Boom. We want to make sure that it's going to hold in the sandwich, right? We're not looking for it to be moving around. And I'm just maybe it's a heavy dash, how about that, of oregano, and some ajo en polvo. All right, boom. I'm trying to move quickly because I want to make sure the cebollas stay nice and transparent so you can see through them. To smell them, they smell really good, especially with the seasoning, man. This is cool. Yeah, I started making this maybe about, I want to say it's about, it's been a while. It's been a while. And now it's just like, it's second nature for me to make this. I'm going to go ahead and add in the hongos because what I want is for some of that liquid to come out the hongos. And then that will pair really well with these herbs that's in here. The oregano and the ajo en polvo. Okay. So while that, I think that could just chill for a moment while I pop this bread in the oven. And when I put it in, I'm going to make sure I don't have a. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it right on the rack. Again, just trying to warm it. I am going to turn it this way though, just so that we can get that inside warm. Right on the rack, not a big deal. Okay, got that on there, and on the top rack, not too far back, but boom. 325, we're just gonna set the timer just so that I hear it, right? And that I didn't forget it. So I just put it for 2 minutes. And I think I'll probably leave it in a little bit longer. So when we start hearing the beeping, we will stop it. So all that beeping is not going to interrupt what's going on over here, because we want to make sure we focus on what's going on over here. So while this is doing good, you know, nothing is doing anything it shouldn't be. It's all mixing up. It smells so good. All right, so now we're gonna move to this wonderful Hass aguacate that I have here. Let me tell you something about this thing. I waited for this bad boy to get nice and ripe. And what I'm gonna do, we're just gonna cut it in half, right? We're not gonna get too fancy with the ingredients in this. I do wanna add a little bit, look how pretty that looks on the inside. I do wanna add some, just a little bit of sal, a little bit of limon, and that's it. We don't have to add too much to it, you know? And then what we'll do is we'll add it onto the sandwich. That is going to help to add a little bit of moisture, right? Because that bread bean that is so thick and crusty, it can be kind of dry. And we don't want it dry. In particular, I know my father does not want a dry sandwich. He is adamant about a sauce. He is adamant about salsa. He is same thing. Salsa is sauce, but like, you know, when you're eating a meal, he wants to, especially like so they eat meat, right? So now he's eating some kind of chicken dish. You got to put the gravy on there. You got to make sure that you're big on that. Okay, thank you, Mr. Oven. So we're gonna go ahead and stop that. You're still looking good. I'm gonna turn this off. I think we're good. And I'm gonna move it to the other side because it doesn't need to keep cooking. Boom, off. I'm just gonna sit in there for a little bit. It's okay. It was not very high, just 325 Fahrenheit. That's it. Sal. We don't need to put that in there. I do have some lemon. And we're just doing some drops. Drop, 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 drop. That's it. We don't need much. I like using a knife because I can slice it in there. It's a preference. That's all. Use a fork to mash if you like. All right, so we got salt in here, we got limon in here. What else can we do? You know, just to make things a little bit more, seasoned and really good with each other. We're gonna go ahead and put in we're gonna put the tomatoes on top. So I can hear I don't know if you hear like the sizzling is dying out very slowly. So that heat is coming down. That's fine. What I like to do, we're gonna keep it on that burner though, because I don't want the heat to come back up. I want to add let's go ahead and try our best to put the tomatoes on top of the warm sauteed veggies. And it'll break down a little bit, but not too much, but it'll be warm. So when you bite into the sandwich, nothing in particular as far as, it's not gonna be cold, right? You're going to have warmth. You're gonna have different flavors in there because all these veggies bring in different flavors. But we don't wanna cook the tomatoes. That's not what I'm attempting to do. Okay, I'm gonna taste because I need to know what's going on here. We're good. We are good. Now, because I love my wonderful parents, we're gonna make this a little extra fancy for them. And what I do, and so here's the thing, right? I mentioned earlier that for them, their sandwich is a little bit different. Usually I will add eggs, like a fried egg. I'll still do veggies, but they eat eggs, so I add an egg. And I'll add mustard. Again, you know, as I mentioned, Pops he does not want a dry sandwich. He does not want a dry sandwich. And I like the fact that with these veggies, because they have fairly enough water, especially the tomatoes and the hongos, they have like enough water content in them that it's gonna give off a little. Can you see that? It's just like a little bit of like liquidy stuff, you know? That's the same thing in there too, is mixed in with the oil. That's what's giving it, just so it's not hard and dry and, you know, it's warmed and loved. So I'm going to, let's get one of these like not pretty tomatoes. Let's taste that. So I want to see if it picked up that oregano and if it picked up it picked it up. I definitely taste oregano. I taste cebolla and hongos. It tastes good. It tastes good. We don't have to over season it because we still have the little avocado smash that we put together here. We're gonna take the bread out, put this bad boy together. That's it. That's it, and we're done. You see how fast that was? Now try doing that in the morning. Try doing that about 4 o'clock in the morning and see how fast you can do that. Try doing it about 3 o'clock in the morning and see how fast you can do that. So the bread is nice and warm, not hot, but it's nice and warm. So that warmth also, when you hit it with these veggies, yeah, okay. See, we could touch it. We could touch it. It's not like it's super. It's not hot at all. This is what I'm trying to say. It's not hot. All right, let's put this here. Let's put these sandwiches together. All right, so first we're gonna go in with this little avocado mash. Now, this bread smells really good. I haven't used this one before. The ones that I use for my parents, they're not. They do not require gluten-free, so you know I had to go on a hunt for this. There are quite a few like baguette options that are gluten-free. I like to use even, I don't know, ciabatta is what I normally use. Again, that's for my parents because they are not concerned about the gluten. But this is a first for me. So we'll try this gluten and grain-free, which is an extra bonus because I wasn't worried about that. But I mentioned about getting fancy. What I want to do, I want to add some cilantro, some fresh cilantro to this. I think that's going to take it up a whole nother level. That's what I think. All right, let's put this guy to the side. We'll come back. We'll talk to you in a minute. I'm going to focus on this one because I do want to put in that I do want to put some of that in, but we could top it with that. It doesn't have to be right at this moment. Get the sandwich put together while it's warm, you know? It doesn't have to go in any particular order at all. It really doesn't. We're going to go ahead and throw in, boom, we got some hongos, we got the cebollas. We want to make sure we get the cebollas. Definitely. That is one of Daddy's #1 requests outside of some kind of salsa. It has to have, oh, I like a lot of onions. Give me a lot of onions. The onions. I need the onions. So we put that in there. And make sure we get the hongos in there because I think that adds a nice little flavor. Mixed in with the cebollas in particular. I really like it. So we want to make sure that it stays in though. This is a little slippery because of the aceite, you know, but you know what's going to hold it all together? This bread. I also wrap it too, like I wrap it in parchment paper and then foil paper, and then we hit the road, or they go on their own. It just depends on the situation. So that's what it's looking like in there. Let's see. I'm going to see if we can grab some kinds of, do we have any? Yes, we do. Me not having cilantro, what? It doesn't happen often. It has happened, but it doesn't happen often. So what I'm going for is the leaves, right? Now, you could also add this to the smash, to this avocado smash, and I would highly recommend that you cut the stems as finely as possible and add it to it. There's a lot of flavor in these stems. Don't sleep on the stems. The only reason I'm not adding it into the sandwich is because if you've ever tried to eat the stem like in a sandwich and you're pulling, then it's like it's pulling apart the stem. We don't want that. We want ease. We want to make sure that we have everybody stay in place because we're eating this on the go, right? Either in the car or sitting on a line, but not seated comfortably, you know? So I don't want you to eat it and it's like string stuff pulling out and all of that. So that's it. That's the sandwich right there. Done. Now go ahead and take a bite. This bread is crusty. Let's see what's in. The hongos. I'm glad I put the extras in there. The hongos, the cebolla, the cilantro. Don't even think about putting the cilantro. Put it in. That should be automatically in. Don't think about adding it. Just put it in, because it adds another dimension. Imagine you pull up to TSA. The line is long. You gotta go through security. You upset. Have this in your life. You good. This is the hongos. For me, it's the hongos. You're good. All right, boom. My airport sandwich. Simple, quick, easy. Done. Try it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like it. Alrighty, until next time, thank you.